Okay, I'm going to do a roll call. For the commissioners, Commissioner Armstrong,
Yes.
Commissioner Link,
I'm here. Thank you.
Commissioner Kester,
Present. Here. Listening.
Commissioner Bigger,
Here.
Comrade Clausen,
Hi, I'm here, laddie.
and Commissioner Wilson.
Present.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. We'll be conducting this April 14th meeting of the MPC via conference call in accordance with Municipal Government Act Section 199. We are conducting this meeting via conference call in accordance with Section 199. Please note that this call is being transcribed and will be uploaded to our website and our social media. And remember, to eliminate background noise, please mute your phone when you're not talking. We got a copy of the minutes in front of us?
Additions or deletions to the agenda, Tom?
Oh, that's right. I apologize for that. So do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, we do have one of the development permit applications has been withdrawn. It's DP 2020-024.
Okay, so DP 2020-024 is no longer on the, okay, perfect. Are there any others? Hearing no.
I'll move to approve the agenda as amended.
Commissioner Link has moved to anybody against that? Hearing none, the agenda has been adopted. Adoption of the unapproved minutes from March 10th meeting, 2020.
Move to approve, Wilson.
Commissioner Wilson. Anybody against? Hearing nothing. I move the adoption of the minutes. Okay, we're on to business. So we have DP 2020-016.
Yes, good morning. So I will be sharing my screen and I am on page 9 of the agenda. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this application is for a dwelling accessory and the location is 5 miles west of Strathmore in the southeast 21, 24, 26. It is a 21 acre agricultural general parcel. So a permit was issued for this dwelling for farm help in 2003 when we used to allow temporary dwellings for 3-year terms. The permit expired and it was not renewed subsequently. So the current land use bylaw no longer lists a temporary dwelling for farm help as a use. So the second dwelling must obtain a permit as a dwelling accessory. So the proposed dwelling is 1,216 square feet, and the original primary dwelling on the property is 1,152 square feet and is a manufactured dwelling. Under our current bylaw requirements, the primary dwelling must be larger than the accessory dwelling and must be one of the allowable housing types, which does not include a manufactured dwelling. However, under section 8.7.6 of the land use bylaw, we do allow some exceptions to the rule as long as the proposed dwelling accessory was on site prior to the date of the adoption of this bylaw, if it had been approved as a temporary dwelling previously. There have been no complaints from adjacent residents. The existing dwelling has been well maintained and repaired as required. And the development authority may require safety code inspection if they deem it necessary. Staff are recommending approval for DP 2020-016 for a dwelling accessory. And we are saying that the exemption has been granted under section 8.7.6A, allowing the dwelling primary to be a manufactured dwelling and be smaller in gross floor area than the dwelling accessory, or the dwelling, the dwelling accessory. So under our land use bylaw, as I mentioned, we do go down to the 8.7.6, and the existing dwelling was on site prior. It does meet all of those requirements of 8.7.6. We haven't had any complaints, so staff are comfortable with allowing this exemption, recommending approval. Parcel is accessed via Range Road 263. Each of the residents have their own water well and septic system. So we didn't have any responses from neighbors on this application. Down on, sorry, I haven't been saying the page numbers, but on page 13, we do supply our 3 standard responses for accepting the recommendation or not accepting it or providing an alternative. And like I said, we are recommending approval. So now on page 15, I do have a location plan, and we are west of Strathmore. I do have an aerial photo showing where the dwelling is located on the property. I have another aerial photo close up that shows the 2 residences, the primary and the proposed dwelling accessory. I've included the applicant site plan, which shows all the measurements, that it meets all the appropriate setbacks. It is within the CMRB area, but doesn't require review by the board. I have indicated the circulation area, and I have some photos, excuse me, of the proposed dwelling accessory as well as the dwelling primary. And I am now on page 19 with the photo of the dwelling primary, and that is everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Just another note, if you're not talking, can you please mute your phone? We've got a lot of feedback in the background there. Okay, having said, thank you very much. We have a request for decision in front of us, MPC's wishes.
Hi, Member Clausen here. A motion to accept staff recommendation.
Thank you, Commissioner Clausen. Is there any questions from the commission? Hearing none, I will call to vote this RFD. Anybody that's against this RFD? Hearing nothing, the RFD passes. Thank you. Now we'll go on to DP 2020-25, utility services. Thank you.
Good morning, MPC members. Could everyone hear me?
Yes. You bet.
Yes.
And everyone's taking a look at page 30 of the agenda now. Okay, yes. So it should be up on your screen as I'm sharing this tab. So this is an application for the construction of a municipal sewage lagoon for the hamlet of Rosebud. The lagoon will be built on a proposed 16-hectare or 40-acre parcel, which will be coming to subdivision at this MPC meeting. The parcel was recently redesignated from Agricultural General District to Public Utility District. So this lagoon will contain 4 different pools, 1 storage cell, a facultative cell, as well as 2 smaller anaerobic cells. 100-millimeter sanitary force main will be constructed from a pump station on the west end of Rosebud, which will connect to the east side of the subject parcel. It'll run about approximately 2.5 kilometers. And then a 150-millimeter discharge pipe will connect from the sewage lagoon on the east side of the parcel and will extend 1.42 kilometers south to an outfall on the Rosebud River. Wetland delineation was conducted in April 2019 to determine if any of the wetlands on the corner section would be impacted by the proposed development area. It was determined there's a semi-permanent marsh that will be impacted and would require a wetland assessment. Yes, the assessment was conducted in August and concluded the wetland is a D-value wetland. Stormwater management plan was submitted in August as well, recommending grass swales be built along the north side of the gravel access road and on the northwest toes of the lagoon to intercept and direct stormwater runoff towards the existing wetland to maintain the pre-development drainage patterns. A 20-meter setback from the toe of the berm surrounding the lagoon was also recommended and included in the site plan. So this proposal meets all the requirements of our land use bylaw, and staff is recommending that MPC approve this DP subject to the conditions noted. So under the public utility district, the sewage lagoon, now we're on page 32, would be defined as utility services major infrastructure, which is a discretionary use, thus requiring MPC approval. You can see under the utility services major infrastructure definition here what sewage lagoon noted. You can see the location of the sewage lagoon with a proposed subdivision just about 2 kilometers to the west of Rosebud there. The closest adjacent landowner expressed concerns regarding the possibility of noise or odors coming from the sewage lagoon. The setback as governed by the province from a residence to a sewage lagoon is 300 meters. The distance from the proposed lagoon site to the nearest residence is about 680 meters, as you can see here on page 37 of the agenda. And we can see in the site plan the location of the lagoon compared to the property line, which is right on the right here, falls within all of the setbacks noted in the public utility district. Circulation was conducted in a 1-mile radius, as well as to internal and external agencies, and there have been no objections to this development permit. So administration is recommending that MPC approve this development permit subject to the conditions noted.
Thank you very much. MPC's wishes.
I would move that we grant the subdivision.
Sorry, that's Glenn, right?
Right.
Okay, sorry. Very good. Any discussion?
We're just on the development permit right now.
Through the chair, this is for the development permit.
Apologize.
If Commissioner Kester maybe just wants to amend his motion.
Just looking, I thought we were on subdivision, sorry.
2.3 on the agenda. Starts on page 30.
Okay, I will. I've been following along. For some reason, I thought it was subdivision. I don't have that Uber thing on my computer. I'm just trying to keep up on the paper. Okay, I'll move it as recommended by staff. So question, has subdivision been granted or has we just done the zoning on it?
Through the chair, the subdivision application is the next application on the agenda. So it will be subdivided after the development permit.
Oh, I'm probably a couple pages ahead then. Okay, sorry about that.
So MPC Commission, Commissioner Kester has moved to approve DP 2020-025. Anybody against that? Hearing no negatives, the motion passes. We are now moving on to the subdivision of this same piece of property on SD 2020-004.
Okay, hello again, MPC members. We're now on page 40 of the MPC agenda for subdivision 2020-004. This is to subdivide a 40-acre parcel from an undivided quarter section described as Southeast 142722 west of the 4th Meridian to accommodate the construction of a municipal sewage lagoon. Staff are recommending that MPC move to approve subdivision 2020-04 to subdivide this 40-acre parcel from the titled area subject to the conditions noted below. So upon circulation, we received comment from Alberta Environment and Parks recommending that we also circulate Alberta water bodies to see if they had any concerns about the wetland noted earlier in the development permit application. Water bodies was circulated and they had no concerns. We'll go down to the maps here just to remind of the location. We're about 2 kilometers west of Rosebud here. The proposed parcel on the east side with a road right of way on that east side of the parcel, which will be built to that proposed access. As for the redesignation, we expanded our landowner circulation to 2 miles for this application so we could include all of the residents of Rosebud. We received no objections or comments from our adjacent circulation for this application. So I'll refer now back to page 40 of this agenda, where staff is recommending that MPC move to approve subdivision 2020-04 to subdivide one 40-acre parcel from the titled area.
So does that conclude your report?
That concludes this presentation. Thanks.
Thank you.
Question through the chair to staff. If just for order, for process of order, Ben Armstrong here. If the subdivision application doesn't go through, does the development permit still apply? And the other question is, why did we do the development permit before we had the subdivision in place?
Matt, can you answer that question for us?
Sorry, I was talking and it was on mute. My apologies. So it's the process of the agenda, Commissioner Armstrong, in terms of the permitting going first and then the subdivision following, but it doesn't make an impact. We would revisit the subdivision process, and then we would come back with amendments should we have to. But otherwise, it wouldn't impact anything moving forward. If Sherry, if you have any supplemental comments, please feel free.
Okay, I think
Good
you've
morning,
answered my
this is
question.
Sherry speaking. Yes, with, okay, that's good, thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have an RFD in front of us? MPC's wishes?
Councillor Kester here, I'll once again move subdivision for application SD 2020-004 be approved with the conditions noted in Appendix A.
Oops. Sorry, I had my phone with you. Thank you, Commissioner Kester. Any discussions? Hearing, I'll call anybody opposed to this application. Hearing no application, I move that this be approved. Is there any other business?
I have a question. This is Kester talking. I know we haven't got our budget done yet, and I'm unsure of how busy our construction equipment's going to be. If it's not, I don't know. Is it possible that our own forces could, when the time comes, develop this parcel of land, dig a lagoon and pack it and all that kind of stuff? And being that water lines are probably going to go in the tender process, I'm thinking is moving forward. If we'd be able to utilize forces that are already in the county and not going to be going right by it, use some of them to tunnel some of these pipes in the ground. With our experience with the water, it's no environmental cleanup, and if we get down closer to that river, yeah, I'm thinking tunnel it in would be, I'm thinking off the top of my head, would be the cheaper route to go. I'm just wondering if staff's looked at any of that stuff, or it's a comment and maybe they can evaluate it for a future time. Thanks. I don't need an answer right today.
Commissioner Kester will take your comments and I'll communicate them with the GM of Agriculture.
Thank you.
Well, if there's no other business, then I call this meeting closed.
I can move to adjourn the meeting if you need, Tom.
Thank you, Commissioner Bigger. The meeting is closed. Thank you.